Hello, welcome back. Hope everybody's doing great. It's going to be a short one today. Today is actually the day before spring break starts. I don't assign anything like quote unquote over the spring break. Things are due the week we get back. So it equals out that like you have classes starting in a week from Monday. So they run up to today. You have Friday, then Monday through Friday off, then school starts again. Actually, spring break is over actually on that Friday. And then you start again, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So anything I'm talking about, you do have the appropriate week to work on. It's not going to be much. We're working on our poster projects for the most part. So as we go through, a couple things to note is registration's coming up. So if you check this little list here, this has the information you need to know. What you had to take first semester, what you should take second semester, what you should take third and fourth. A lot of the stuff to just kind of make sure, like, you check it off. I took this class. In order to take this class, then I have to take this class. Of course, you can't take anything unless you've taken the required courses that make sure that you don't get in over your head with which programs to use and whatnot. But just follow this to your best of your ability, and you'll be able to know which classes you want to sign up for. Going out of first semester, second, third, and fourth semester, even though you're in first, just so you know, these all run, you get one choice. The classes are one choice only for the most part. I think, okay, there might be two 110s. There might be two 110s. But just double check. So you get one shot, one choice for these. And there you go. So make sure when that pops up, you register and register early. I'm going to ask you every week now to make sure you're registered, because if you don't, you won't go. And then we'll have fewer classes to offer you. So make sure you do that. All right, we're in 10. We looked over the emphasis lecture, and I went over the emphasis and focal point and getting your eye to lead from one area to another. How do we do that? Have some fun with that. It is kind of open, like I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. It's all about guiding the eye. I clicked on the wrong one. It's all about getting me to look from one place to another, using anything, big to small, a path, lots of red things, and then there's a big yellow and a small blue. Like it's about that. And because what are we going to be attracted to when we look at something? It's the different things. So that's why we talk about that, is like, how do I do that? And I was working with a student, and it's not necessarily like getting this one is a very obvious flow from one place to another. But, like if you had a billion circles, and then you did one big yellow star and one small pink star in a sea of blue stars, you'd be like, oh, I look at this one first and I look at this one second. This one because it's bigger, and this one second because it's small, but they're different in the sea of what's going on. Here, this one was just a path to follow. You naturally follow a path from bigger to smaller. You start in this edge, like, whoa, I'm driving along, I'm driving off into the distance. And I just position them in different spots just to have some fun. With another one? Oh, what if you could even do a scene here up front? I don't know if I can do it. Let's do it. It's like a house. Sorry. Like here's the right. Please don't do this. And then in the background, and then there's a tree. Like, what do I look? First, you're gonna look at the big house in the front, and second, you're gonna look at the tree in the background. You'll be amazed at how, even like, this is painterly stuff. This is how painters do it. So that's what we're talking about when you do that one. Have some fun with it. you know what you're doing. We went over, I think this is the second round. I went over how to work in InDesign for your setups. I did that whole setup. It's no different than what you've been doing. It's just, it's learning the basics. Oh, I barely ever worked in InDesign. You have been. You've been practicing it. Now it's just placing. That's the general rules of the assignments, of the programs are all the same. We just, when you get in the nuts and bolts of InDesign, that's where you get into the typography and setting up and paragraphs and baselines and all this crazy stuff. But initially, it's just, I want a colored background. I want to put in images and I want to put in some text. Boom, you guys are doing it. You're on top of it. You're rocking it. Do on 416. Talk about layers. It's not just the layers in the Photoshop. It's not just the layers in the Illustrator. This is more about layers of design. How do we get that? How do we build on layers? I love this kind of like overprinting layers. I mean, it's a very cool one. Check it out. But it's not just about simply layering in Illustrator. It's not the layers we look beside us. It's the layers of information we use when we do design. And it's the layers that we design in. So take a look. Super cool examples there. And now, today, you'll be handing in, by the end of the day, you're handing in the intro to this project, which is, who are your clients? You're like, who? Okay, you have your music festival logo done. You got your 3 pictures done. You did your about paragraph done. You got the headliners done and the music festival dates done. Boom. That should have taken you 1 hour. You know, like just setting that up. And then you did 6 sketches for me. I think it's 6. Maybe it's. You did your sketches for me. Now you're going to take your 2 favorite sketches and you're going to develop a tighter rough draft. And what does that mean? So if you kind of like just were like, oh, I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to do that. I think. Now you're going to be like, you know what? This is the one I like. This is the idea I like the most. And what I'm going to do now is make sure I have everything that is needed and I know exactly where it's go. And I did it in a correct format. You know, we developed that it's 20 by 30, 2 by 3 should work for you in reduction. And you get the right proportions in that drawing. And then you're like, okay, I know what the music festival looks like. So maybe it's an odd shape. So you kind of just draw that odd shape. 3 pictures from the music festival. Do I want them in squares? Do I want them in circles? Do I want them in hearts? Do I want them in stars? 1 paragraph about the music festival. This doesn't have to be very apparent. And it's a paragraph. Where am I put that paragraph? And I just need like a little block of text. 3 of the music festival headliners. How do I want to do that? Well, I'm going to have their picture and their name. Picture and their name. And then like, how do I do that? Maybe I'll put the pictures in circles. Maybe I'll put it in a rectangle. Maybe I'll put it in a square. Maybe I'll put in a diamond. And then the music festival dates. Well, where am I going to put that music festival dates? Probably I'm going to put it up by the logo and make sure I know where it is. All right. So we're going to, but what we're doing, and then I'm going to know what fonts am I going to use? What colors am I going to do? If I'm doing something big and I got a giant guitar, go get your giant guitar. Make sure you know what you're going to do. Practice. Know what you're going to do for that final. So let's look at this student example. I'm going to download it so I can make it bigger. I just clicked over, my downloads folder ran away. All right, so this is the student who did Rockfest. Kicking it at Rockfest. So I'm going to page down. So we have the logo. So first thing, you know, when you're working on yours, and you're going to be like, okay, I got to make sure when I put in my logo, I know what the logo looks like. I got my music festival images, and you know, like, well, maybe, you know, am I going to do a circle? Sorry, am I going to do a circle around this guy? Am I, you know, done? You know, like, what am I going to do? How am I going to show those off? got my paragraph, I got my headliners, my dates. And now I already did this. I got some semblance of an idea, right? These are my first 6 sketches, and I'm making sure that I got I got 3 headliners, 1, 2, 3. I got the date. You know, I got the logo. But see, okay, maybe the logo is bigger than I think when I go up there and I look at that Rockfest logo, like, okay, I'm going to need more room. So the logo is going to be bigger, which means I'm going to have to move the hand down. Okay, and then I got me, but maybe I'm going to make sure these are in line, you know, like, okay, great. You know, or like this one. All right, I got to get a guitar, and I'm going to make sure when I get my guitar, it's the correct shape. And then I'm going to put an image there like, oh, is this going to look, is it a circle there? Why am I going to put a circle here? Maybe this isn't the best one to move forward with. Here, like this one, I like the flames, and I can do this. And you're just going to relook at all these, right? This one, you know, okay, it's the stage. And so I have this, but maybe instead of the stage comes out, and so I'll have the date, you know, how will I make the date? I need to find a crowd of people. Is that going to hinder me? How do I find that crowd of people? Got my logo. My logo is actually like this. So I may have to move everything up a little bit. And then I have my crowd of people. And then in that, I'm going to have these bursts. Okay, I got this. And then how am I going to do this? Well, maybe this about paragraph could actually be here in this third image, you know, like this is just floating. Like maybe I could reintroduce that better. So these are the things you had your first ideas, and then as you go through, you're going to refine those ideas, but only 2 of them. So just to make sure, I want you to understand, you're not redoing all of them, just 2 of them. And it says that in the assignment. Develop 2 rough drafts. So choose 2 of your favorite thumbnail sketches. All right. So make sure we don't have to do all 6. Make sure you read the assignment. Make sure you listen to me fully. We're not doing all 6. All right. Rough drafts. Now, things are added to. 1, we have information on the side. Okay. I have thought about what I'm going to do. So when next after spring break, when I go to start working on the final, I know exactly what I'm going to do. So here they even added us. I want lightning, and I'm going to have, this is how I'm going to have my images. I'm going to still have this. I got my logo and, you know, whatever. They cleaned it up, and they're making sure they know everything is in its place, and they've thought about this stuff as well. So it's cleaned up. This I can take directly into the program I want, Illustrator, and drop it in and just start putting stuff right on top. That's why we do this. This is the other reason. It makes it so much easier to do the final design if you follow through like this. Here's the other one. All right, notes done, right? Red, black, gray, orange. Okay, bold, you know, like this. And here they said, I got a picture. Here, picture Ice Cube. They know which pictures they want where. They know what they're doing. And I think this is the one they went with. I think we may have moved the logo in the end. I think we did like maybe Jelly Roll up here. And I was like, do the logo here, you know, something like that. But that's for me to talk to you about in the next round. So this is where you really think about it. And this is where you start to see it in your head. This is where you start to look at it and be like, I know what I want to do. And again, then you get to this point where it's sketched out. And the other reason we do this, we show the client this. If Rockfest is your client, you'd show them this. You'd be like, okay, here it is. Before I jump on the computer, I just wanted you to okay this, take a look at it. How's it looking? And they'd be like, oh yeah, it looks great. We show sketches to clients all the time. Why would you, but you know, everybody's like, I can't draw. It's just a basic like idea layout. And you know what it does? It's quicker than getting on the computer, spending 2 hours on a design and having the client say like, oh no, that's not the direction we want. Or you could spend 30 minutes doing a little tight sketch, showing them that and having them be like, no, that's not direction. You're like, okay, good. The good thing I only spent 30 minutes on this instead of 2 hours in the computer. And that's what we're developing. And that's what we're working on with this. So That's what I want you to do. For the 2, you pick 2 out of the 6 of your favorite thumbnail sketches, and then you develop them even more. Make sure everything is in its place where you want it to go. So when you bring it in to do your final, you're just placing stuff on top. All the idea, all the thought is out of it. And now you just have to, now you're just like, I know which fonts I'm going to use. I know the photos. I got these. Everything's ready to go. Let's build it. Let's build that final product. This is your blueprint to build your house. So that is what we need to do. So it should be fun. It should be fun. It's the stage, and I know some people are like, oh, I just want to get to the designing. This ensures that you get the design correct, and then you're not like, oh, shoot, shoot. Like it takes all that out of it. So that is what we will work on. Good Lord. So that is what is due. It'll place everything in your document. Yeah, have some fun. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. I am around over spring break. I'm not going anywhere. And I will probably be checking over things every morning. I'll get up first thing in the morning. I'll run through. I'll check every one of my classes, make sure there's no questions, comments, or concerns. And then I'm going to move on. So if you missed me in the morning, no, I'll get to it the next morning. There may be, I won't check on Easter Sunday. I'm not going to check anything just because it'd be family day. But yeah, cool. Again, let me know if you have questions, comments, or concerns with anything. Let's keep rolling. We're getting to the nitty gritty. It's week 10, over the halfway point. So there we are. All right. Well, thank you very much. Have a great break, and I will see you. If not on the discussion board over break, I will see you when we get back. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.